Hello, my name is Eric Burr. I'm a technical support analyst here at ECRS. I was having a meeting the other day with NCG about setting up a new promotion for the co-ops. So this promotion is a $10 off of a $40 purchase. I want to go ahead and make this into a two-part video. So the first part would be if you have the ability to scan GS1 barcodes, I want to go over if you're capable of doing that and the settings that you need to have in place for that. This video is more specifically for people that cannot scan GS1 barcodes, and in which case we have to do a slight workaround with dynamic promotions. So just to kind of take a quick look, this is the barcode that we will be using. So GS1 barcode, the logic is built into it. So if there's $40 in the transaction, you scan this and it's going to know to take the $10 off. Simple enough. But if you cannot scan a GS1 barcode, let's go through the process of what we have to do here in Catapult. So to start, we're going to do a dynamic promotion. I'm going to select Add, and I'm going to do an item promotion. So the name here, I'm going to go NCG coupon. Let's go NCG 10 off 40, actually. All right, so I'm just going to make the name and the receipt alias the same. We're going to leave the store coupon empty. And the other thing I want to make mention of is the tax behavior here within the general section. So if your state has a slightly different tax behavior than other states, here is where we can make those adjustments if needed. All right. Next, we can see the customer limit section. We're going to go ahead and skip over that. And we're going to come right down here to the item combinations. In this case, I want to make it eligible for all items. So I come down here and I select all items. This item group is on every Catapult system by default. It's called all items and it is of the type dynamic. All right. Next, here under scheduling and options is where we actually set the discount amount. I'm going to set that to $10. All right. Next, we have restrictions. So the minimum purchase amount for the transaction needs to be $40. All right. The other thing I want to make mention of is the promotion behavior. There's three options: allow, refuse, and reduce. By default, it's going to be on refuse. What it's doing here is it's taking $10 off from the transaction. But let's say that one item that we selected was $5, in which case we're giving $5 back to the customer. And we don't typically want to do that. So the promotion is going to refuse and not even fire. Reduce promotion is it's only going to give $5 back. And the allow promotion would be where it would say, hey, give that customer $5 back. The reason why we can do allow in this scenario is because we know we have to have $40 in the transaction. So we're going to set this to allow. It's going to give the $10 because we at least have to have $40 to make it fire. The other thing I just wanted to make mention of real quick is the exclude item group from a minimum purchase amount. So this is where you can set it to where alcohol, tobacco, whatever have you, is not eligible for this $40 minimum purchase amount. So you can create an item group where you kind of exclude out those items. All right, so that's most of what we have to do here. There's one other step, but I'm going to go ahead and hit save. We'll go ahead and make sure that it allows us to save. And what I'm going to do now is create a new tab. So if we come up here and right click and duplicate, we're going to go ahead and create a new item in inventory, and this is going to act as a coupon. So I'm just going to go to the home page, inventory, and we're going to hit add. Okay, so we just have to give it some type of ID number. I'm going to call it NCG test coupon. We have to put it in some department. I'm going to go with the default department here. We want to generate a POS item key. And we're going to leave the base price here at 0. And let's go ahead and hit save. All right, so we've got the new item created. We're going to go back to the dynamic promotion. And here's what we're going to do. Under add items, I'm going to look for that new item that I just created. And what this is going to do is it's going to make it to where this item has to be in the transaction. Okay, we can see that it receives 0% of the discount, and in which case we want to come up here to the treatment of 0 distributed items and go ahead and select the do not apply towards discount. So for the dynamic promotion side of things, that is all we have to do. We'll go ahead and hit save. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to the home page. So at this point, we've created the dynamic promotion. We've created an item that's acting as the coupon for this promotion. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put a button on the POS to where you can just select that button and it will make this promotion fire. And then after that, we're going to look at a quick report. All right. So to do that, let's go to setup and then point of sale. Okay. So here's where we're actually going to be able to add the button when we go into POS keypad maintenance. Now, most people don't necessarily know which keypad profile that they use. So a trick that I use is I go back to where we were just a second ago, but let's go to terminal setup this time. So I'm using terminal 1 in my case. So I'm just going to go ahead and look at the settings for that. And I come down here and I can see that I'm using something called default keypad. All right, so let's go back again into here. In default keypad, when I select that, we should see what it looks like at the POS. Okay, so in my case, I have an empty spot ready to add a new button. I'm going to click on that. And here under the POS function, I'm going to type in the name of the item that we just created. In my case, it was NCG test coupon. And if we wanted to, we can change the name of what the button's going to show. So I'm just going to put NCG coupon here and select save. All right, at this point, we're ready to test. So I'm going to minimize out of here. I'm going to open up my POS. Okay, so the first thing I'm looking for is that the button is actually here. So far, so good. So I'm going to choose an item and make sure that I get to the $40 minimum. Select my coupon, and we see that it took the $10 out of the transaction. Something to be mindful of. So this is the item that we just created. And note that it's a $0 item. That's just how it's going to look at the POS and on the receipt. So whatever you call this is what the customer is going to see as an item in their transaction. But we can see the promotion fired. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and finalize this transaction and close out of POS. So lastly, now I just want to look at a report so I can see the number of times this is fired for customers and non-customers. And to do that, I'm going to come into reporting, run reports. And what I like to do is search by dynamic promotion. Even if you just type in dynamic, that's enough. And we're going to do customer dynamic promotion by customer. And in this report is where we can get some of that information of the amount of times that it has fired. There's also another report that we can use that is customer by dynamic promotion, and it's very similar to this one. Alrighty, guys. So I believe we've covered everything we need to here, from building the promotion, creating the item, doing a test, and then also looking at the reports. I will make mention, if you do run into any questions or have any issues with this, when you submit a ticket to ECRS, if you could title it NCG 10 off 40, that will help us get you to the correct technician that will understand the configuration of this. So at this time, that's going to be me, Eric Burr, and then also Mac Mast as well. So in the event that you do need to put in a ticket, just if you can, title it as NCG 10 off 40, and then we can easily get it to the correct technician to help you with this process. Alrighty, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.